We are hanging out at the United Way of Saskatoon and area, celebrating all their accomplishments through 2014 and their plans for 2015. Of course, right now we are hanging out with Dan, and Dan is a client through the organization, so he knows exactly how the money that is raised through the organization helps community members. So Dan, tell us a bit of the background. Why did you first come to the United Way a couple years ago?
It all started, I have a eye condition called retinitis pigmentosa.
Okay.
And several years ago it started to progress rapidly, and it took over 60% of my vision.
Wow.
And I didn't really know where to reach out as far as resources, and I was put in touch with CNIB, which is an agency funded by United Way. When you start to lose things like your eyesight and everything, and your life changes, it feels like the ground falls out beneath your feet, and you spend so much time just trying to survive that you don't have necessarily the wherewithal at the time to know exactly where to reach out, and having them advocate for you to help you get in touch with the right resources for your family and yourself is just, it's invaluable.
So the United Way works with these organizations like CNIB to help support these organizations so they can directly help community members like yourself. So let's talk a little bit about the other services that you've used throughout the community that are also helped by the United Way.
For sure. One of the other ones that I've used for my family is autism services. My son was diagnosed with autism. Well, at the same time I started losing my eyesight. So we didn't even really know where to reach out until we got the diagnosis, and we were put in touch with them, and they've been incredible support, helping them find the right therapies and medications and everything.
Fantastic. So seeing the United Way raise over their goal of $6 million, they raised $6.3 million in the 2014 campaign. What does that mean to you, knowing that that money directly helps the organizations that help you?
You know, as my vision progresses, as it gets worse, there will be those supports in place because of, how hard they're working to raise that money so these organizations can stay functioning. And it gives me hope too for my son's future. That these things will be in place for him in the years to come, as as he changes, as he develops. One of their key things, being helping for kids to be all that they can be.
Yes.
Knowing those resources are out there it gives me a great peace of mind.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for sharing your story with us, Dan. That's just an example of the way that the United Way is impacting organizations and community members throughout the city. We're going to learn a lot more about the United Way. We're going to talk about their upcoming goals for their 2015 campaign. But in the meantime, let's throw it over to David Baxter, who's hanging out with Randy and Mr. Leahy from the Trailer Park Boys.